Hi everybody, I'm Jeffrey Deutsch. Wish I could be with you in person, hopefully soon. Tonight, the Great American Songbook. The 7 greatest American songwriters, stories and songs. Sing along whenever you'd like. Thanks for listening. It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around, finally found somebody who could make me be true. It could make me be blue, and he'd be glad just to be sad thinking of you. Some others I've seen might never be me. They'd never be cross or try to be boss, but that wouldn't do. For nobody else gave me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you. Had to be you. You know this song, right? Sing along with me this time. It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around, finally found somebody who could make me be true. It could make me feel blue, and he'd be glad just to be sad thinking of you. Some others I've seen might never be me. They'd never be cross or try to be boss, but that wouldn't do. For nobody else gave me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be you. Oh, it had to be you. Hey, and we're off. All right. 7 great American songwriters. The first one, America's hitmaker, George Gershwin. Gershwin was born right around the turn of the last century in Manhattan. Didn't really care for music as a kid, rather play baseball. But one day he was walking past his friend's apartment, and the friend was playing piano, because back then practically every apartment in New York City had a piano. And Gershwin walked in and said, "Can you show me how to do that?" And his friend did. And he just took to it amazingly well. He just had this great natural ability on the piano, and stunned his family by going home and playing something on the piano that was meant for his older brother, Ira. And then he became a song plugger. You know what a song plugger is? It's the guy who would sit in the storefront window all day long playing the popular songs of the day so that you could be walking past it and hear the song and you'd go, "Oh, that's a nice song. I'm going to buy that for my family. Here's my nickel." And so Gershwin, at the age of 15, dropped out of high school, became the best song plugger in New York City. Other composers would go to hear him play their songs because he could just make a symphony out of anything. And then he wrote a little song in 1919 called Swanee. Not a big hit. Nobody really cared for it except Al Jolson. And Al Jolson put it in his vaudeville act, took it all over the country, and then it was a huge hit. And from that one song in 1919, George Gershwin made $10,000 in royalties. $10,000 in 1919 for writing a song. And he said to himself, "I'm going to do this some more." And it's just an incredible shame that he died so young. He was 39 years old when he died. How many more great songs we would have had if he just lived to be 60? Songs like this, his last song, I think it's his best song. It's very clear our love is here to stay. Not for a year, but ever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancies, and in time may go. you to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. In time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble, they're only made of clay, but our love is here to stay. You say either, and I say either. You say neither, and I say neither. Either, either, neither, neither. Let's call the whole thing off. You say potato, and I say potato. You say tomato, and I say tomato. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato. Let's call the whole thing off. But oh, if we call the whole thing off, then we must part. And oh, if we never part, then that could break my heart. So if you go for oysters and I go for oysters, I'll eat the oysters and toss back the oysters. For we know we need each other, so we better call the calling off. Let's call the whole thing off. You say laughter, and I say laughter. You say after, and I say after. Laughter, laughter, after, after. Let's call the whole thing off. You like vanilla, and I like vanilla. You sarsaparilla, and I sarsaparilla. Vanilla, vanilla. Chocolate, strawberry. Let's call the whole thing off. But oh, if we call the whole thing off, then we must part. And oh, if we never part, then that could break my heart. So if you like pajamas and I like pajamas, I'll wear pajamas and toss the pajamas. For we know we need each other, so we better call the calling off. Let's call the whole thing off. There's a somebody I'm longing to see. I hope that she turns out to be someone to watch over me. I'm a little lamb who's lost in the wood. I know I could always be good to one who will watch over me. Although I may not be the man some girls think of as handsome, to her heart I carry the key. Won't you tell her please to put on some speed, follow my lead, oh how I need someone to watch over me, someone to watch over me. Thank you, George Gershwin. Our next composer, bon vivant, a real gentleman and a great hero to me, Duke Ellington. So sophisticated, so classy, what a wonderful man he was. And wrote every kind of music there was to write, from movie themes to ballets to stuff for Broadway, and of course some of the greatest pop hits of the 20th century. A real wonderful man. Songs like these that we do in the piano bar every night. Missed the Saturday dance, heard they crowded the floor, couldn't bear it without you, don't get around much anymore. Thought I'd visit the club, got as far as the door, they'd have asked me about you, don't get around much anymore. Darling, I guess my mind's more at ease. Nevertheless, why stir up memories? Been invited on dates, might have gone, but what for? Awfully different without you, don't get around much anymore. What good is melody? What good is music if it ain't possessing something sweet? It ain't the melody, it ain't the music. There's something else that makes the tune complete. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do-I, 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 well, don't mean a thing, all you got to do is sing. Do-I, 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 well, it makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Just give that rhythm everything you got. Oh, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do-I, 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 well, zoodle-doo-doo-doo-day, booty-oodle-doo-doo-doo-day, zabba-doo-doo-day-boo-boo-boo-boo-day. Well, it makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Just give that rhythm everything you got. Well, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do-I, 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 wow, wow, wow. Thank you, Duke Ellington. I did some scatting there in the middle of that song. I had not planned on it. I just kind of came over me. You know, I work on cruise ships, and a guy came up to me at the piano on the cruise ship one night and said, you know how you play and sing the melody the way it's written the first time, and then you go into that scat stuff and all those crazy syllables, and then you change the melody all around? I said, yeah. He said, I don't like that. So, all right. Next composer. Oh, talk about bon vivant. Cole Porter. Born in Peru, Indiana, very wealthy, married even wealthier. He married an heiress. Didn't have much success on Broadway, moved to Paris, took his heiress to Paris, and wrote songs for his parties. And that was all it was going to be for a long time. And oh, to have been at these parties, Sarah Bernhardt and Winston Churchill and Noel Coward, and oh, it must have been wonderful to hear Cole Porter play and sing for the first time songs like these. Times have changed. We have often rewound the clock since the Puritans got a shock when they landed on Plymouth Rock. If today any shock they should try to stem, instead of landing on Plymouth Rock would land on them. In olden days, eclipse of stocking was looked at as something shocking. Now heaven knows anything goes. Good authors too, who once used better words, now only use four-letter words. Writing prose, anything goes. The world's gone bad today, and good's bad today, and black's white today, and day's night today, and those guys today, the women prize today, are just silly gigolos. And though I'm not a great romancer, I know that you're bound to answer when I propose. Anything goes. When Grandmama, whose age is 80 in nightclubs, is getting matey with gigolos. Anything goes. When mothers pack and leave poor fathers because they decide they'd rather be tennis pros. Anything goes. If drive fast cars you like, or low bars you like, or old hymns you like, or bare limbs you like, or Mae West you like, or me undressed you like, well, we can talk about that later. When every night the set that's smart is intruding in nudist parties in studios. Anything goes. You'd be so easy to love, so easy to idolize, all others above, so worth the yearning for, so swell to keep every home fire burning for, and we'd be so good. that you can't see your future with me, 'cause you would be, oh, so easy to love. Night and day, you are the one, only you beneath the moon and under the sun. Whether near to me or far, it's no matter, darling, where you are, I think of you. Night and day, day and night. Why is it so that this longing for you follows wherever I go? In the roaring traffic's boom, in the silence of my lonely room, I think of you. Night and day, night and day, under the hide of me, there's no such a hungry yearning burning inside of me, and its torment won't be through till you let me spend my life making love to you day and night, night and day, day and night, night and day. Thank you, Cole Porter. Oh boy. Our next composer, Jerome Kern, the dean of the American songwriters. Everyone learned how to write from him. He wrote 109 complete scores for Broadway. 109 shows. And that was before he moved out to Hollywood, which they all did during the Depression, and started writing for Fred Astaire. And I've probably said this many times, Fred Astaire, I think, is our greatest entertainer. Great, great dancer, fine comic actor, not a terrific singer. He wasn't Tony Bennett or Frank Sinatra, but he had this very natural, easygoing way of delivering a song exactly the way the composers wanted him to. So they loved him. They wrote for him. He got to debut more of the Great American Songbook than anyone else. Fred Astaire. Songs like these by Jerome Kern. A fine romance with no kisses. A fine romance, my friend. This is, we should be like a couple of hot tomatoes. You're as cold as yesterday's mashed potatoes. A fine romance, you won't nestle. A fine romance, you won't wrestle. You're just as hard to land as the Ile de France. I never get a chance. This is a fine romance. A fine romance, my dear Duchess. Two old fogies who need crutches. True love should have the thrills that a healthy crime has. We don't have half the thrills that the March of Dimes has. A fine romance, no quarrels, no insults and all morals. You never give the orchids I send a glance. No, you like cactus plants. This is a fine romance. Someday, when I'm awfully alone, when the world is cold, I will feel it glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. Oh, but you're lovely, with your smile so warm and your cheek so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you, just the way you look tonight. With each word, your tenderness grows, tearing my fears apart. And that laugh that wrinkles your nose Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you just the way you look tonight. You are the promised kiss of springtime that makes the lonely winter seem long. You are the breathless hush of evening that trembles on the brink of a lovely song. You are the angel glow that lights a star. The dearest things I know are what you are. Someday my happy arms will hold you, and someday I'll know that moment divine when all the things you are mine. Oh, thank you, Jerome Kern. Oh, beautiful songs. When Jerome Kern played that song for his publisher didn't like it. Said, "It's too complicated, Jerry. You got to change it. American people will never like it. It's too complicated." Well, thank goodness he didn't, because it went on to become one of our greatest songs of all time. In fact, in 1950, Time magazine asked 50 great American songwriters which song they wish they had written. And that was the song that came up the most. All the Things You Are, the songwriter's song. Here's a composer that you may not know. Please raise your hand. I won't be able to see you, but if you know this name. Harold Arlen. All right. Some of you do. You want to take this one? No? Okay. You shaved your beard. Harold Arlen started out on Broadway writing completely forgettable shows. The books were terrible. We never see them anymore, but the music was great. Then he moved out to Hollywood, as I said, like they all did during the Depression. Started writing movie musicals. In 1939, he wrote a little movie musical called The Wizard of Oz. Yeah, that's the music of Harold Arlen. Every time you see that movie every year, you're listening to Harold Arlen's music. And then went on to write some of the greatest pop songs for Judy Garland and Frank Sinatra and so many others. Nat King Cole, songs like these. Black magic's got me in its spell. That old black magic that you weave so well. I see fingers up and down my spine. That same old witchcraft when your eyes meet mine. That same old tingle that I feel inside. Then that elevator starts its ride. And down I go. Round and round I go, like a leaf caught in the tide. I should stay away, but what can I do? I hear your name, and I'm aflame with such a burning desire that only your kiss can put out the fire. You're the lover I have waited for, the mate that fate had me created for. Every time your lips meet mine, darling, down and down I it's only a paper moon hanging over a cardboard sea. But it would be make-believe if you believed in me. Say it's only a canvas sky hanging over a muslin tree. But it would be make-believe if you believed in me. Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody played in a penny arcade. It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it would be make-believe if you believed in me. I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. Got the string around my little finger. What a world, what a life. I'm in love. I got a song that I sing. I can make the rain go anytime I move my little finger. Lucky me, can't you see? I'm in love. Life is a beautiful thing. As long as I hold that string, I'd be a silly so and so if I should ever let go. I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow, got the string around my little finger. What a world, what a life, I'm in love. Lucky me, can't you see, I'm in love. Oh, 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 oh. Thank you, Harold Arlen, and many more. All of these guys. Many, many more great songs. Here's maybe the greatest of them all. Richard Rodgers. Won every kind of award there was to win. Had a huge songbook with Lawrence Hart, his lyricist. That was Rodgers and Hart. Then when Hart passed away, he started writing with Oscar Hammerstein. Rodgers and Hammerstein. It's the same Rodgers. He is the world's #1 composer. There are more Richard Rodgers songs being sung and played around the world every day than anyone else's music, including Bach and Beethoven and Mozart. He's #1. Richard Rodgers. Fascinating guy. I will do more Rodgers and Hammerstein in another show. So let me just concentrate on Rodgers and Hart, with your permission, or entirely without it. And I can't just do 3 songs. There's so many great songs. So I'm going to do a medley of 87 songs. I'll have you out by midnight, I promise. No, not 87, but some great songs, just little snippets. You'll know them. Sing along. She gets too hungry for dinner at 8. She likes the theater, but never comes late. She'd never bother with people she'd hate. That's why the lady is a tramp. This can't be love, because I feel so well. No sobs, no sorrows, no sighs. This can't be love, I get no dizzy spells. My head is not in the skies. We'll take Manhattan, the Bronx and Staten Island too. It's lovely going through the zoo. Blue moon, you saw me standing alone. wandering child again, bewitched, bothered and bewildered am I. It seems we stood and talked like this before. We look at each other in the same way then, but I can't remember where or when. And maybe the greatest of them all, my funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks laughable, unphotographable, yet you're my favorite work of art. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart? Don't change your hair for me, not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine, stay. Each day is Valentine's Day. Thank you, Richard Rogers. Oh, folks. Great, great songs. Great music. All right, our final composer of the show, and here's the one you've been waiting for. Maybe the most beloved of them all, Irving Berlin. Irving Berlin wrote thousands of songs, literally thousands, and never learned to play the piano. Never learned to read music, never learned to write music down. He had a musical secretary. There's a lot more to say about that, some other show. But wrote for Broadway, wrote for Tin Pan Alley, wrote for Hollywood, wrote for vaudeville. He did it all. And some of the greatest songs of them all, like this. Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak, and I seem to find the happiness I seek when we're out together dancing cheek to cheek. Heaven, I'm in heaven, and the cares that hung around me through the week seem to vanish like a gambler's lucky streak when we're out together dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, I'd love to climb a mountain and reach the highest peak, but I won't enjoy it half as much as dancing cheek to cheek. And I'd love to go out fishing on a river or a creek, but I won't enjoy it half as much as dancing cheek to cheek. Dance with me, I want my arms about you, the charms about you will carry me through to heaven. I'm in heaven, and the cares that hung around me through the week seem to vanish like a gambler's lucky streak when we're out together dancing cheek to cheek. And I'll be loving you with a love that's true. face the music and dance. Before the fiddlers have fled, before they ask us to pay the bill, and while we still have the chance, let's face the music and dance. Soon we'll be without the moon, humming a different tune, and then there may be teardrops to shed, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance, dance. Let's face the music and dance. Thank you, Irving Berlin. And thank you, folks. Thank you for listening. I hope we'll do this a lot more. It's the first time I've ever done anything like this online. I hope it works out. But thank you for being here. Please take care of yourselves. Good night.